Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so happy to be with you again, as always. And I just recorded this episode and my mic died halfway through, and I only had half of the audio recorded, which was amazing to discover. But anyway, today we are talking about unlocking the simple marketing essentials for your home staging business. And I should be good at talking about the topic now that I've recorded it entirely at least one time. But before we jump into that, I just wanted to say thank you to whoever wrote a really nice review for me on Apple Podcasts this past week. I wish I could thank you personally, but if you hear this and know it's yours, I just want you to know how appreciative I am of you taking the time to leave this. So he wrote, Lori shares true business strategies, actionable steps to grow your own business, and shares the secrets and lessons that help each listener apply the ideas to their own business. I am so happy that I found Lori in Staging Sips, and I am excited to grow my staging business with her expertise and guidance. Well, I'm so happy to be alongside you. And again, I so appreciate all of the feedback and the business owners who filled out the survey in the past week. Thank you. You can still do that. The link is in the show notes. But I so appreciate it because I really base a lot of these topics on my own business experience as well as my students. But I'm new to many of you, you're new to me. And getting this feedback is really helpful so that I know that I'm hitting the key pain points that you're experiencing in your business. So it is super, super valuable. And again, so appreciated so that I can continue to just create really great content and topics for you and help you troubleshoot things in your business. So today's really an extension of what has come out of the survey. And it's really that many of you are struggling to find enjoyment in marketing and to market in a consistent way, or to even have clarity on what you should be doing to market your business. So we're going to simplify it as much as possible for you today. And I think it's a nice tie-in coming off of the episode with Brock Johnson last week, which I thought was really fantastic because he didn't make it seem like you've got to be posting reels 5 days a week. Like, it was a very compassionate approach to how you should be handling Instagram in your business. And I really loved it. So today we're going to be talking again about the essentials. And this is a concept that I've had a few business coaches over the years, and they've all discussed this. And I teach it in depth inside of the Staging Business School in both the growth and the accelerate curriculums, because it's that important. Because once you understand the marketing essentials, you will understand the fastest path to cash from where you are right now to where you want to be. So if you're that growth business owner and you're looking to hit like 50K in revenue in your business, you are going to need to understand exactly what you should be doing on the regular inside your business to market so that you can get there. And if you're an accelerate business owner and you've added team and your capacity has grown, but your calendar hasn't caught up to your capacity, we want to get you marketing so that you can have that calendar and capacity kind of match, as it were. And really, marketing is just like anything else that you do in life, whether it's learning a sport or learning an instrument or how to crochet or cook or whatever, is that you really need to know the fundamentals. And once you know the fundamentals, you can begin to stack skills. But it really starts with knowing what's essential to learn and practice that over and over again until you develop mastery. And you're going to develop some entrepreneurial resilience along the way, because you're going to understand that you may have maybe an expectation gap in how much you need to do and for how long you need to do it. So some things may take longer than you expect before they begin to gain traction, but you also will get used to getting no feedback and hearing no and keeping going. That is a really important skill set to learn in your business, is to experiment, to try, to learn, and to be able to keep dusting yourself off until things start to click. And I just want to share with you that I'm growing the Staging Business School. I am right in this with you. So I am right back in this topic, and it's super relevant to me. So I haven't lost sight of what it's like to have to focus on a few key things to get the ball rolling and the momentum rolling in your business. So let me just share what my definition of essential marketing is. It's basically getting clients without having to pull a bunch of levers. We don't want you to have to be on 1,000 social media platforms and putting out these complicated newsletters and, trying to put out proposals that are, these works of art to try to generate clients. We want it to be as simple and easy for you as possible. And as we go through this episode today, I want you to embody the self concept of a marketing essentialist. So when you start to market, I want you to be like a purist about it. I want you to dive into just trying a couple of strategies that you're going to implement on the long term until you master it. And this could be years. It really technically could take you years for certain things. Most of them won't, and the 4 I'm going to teach you will not. They will be your fastest path to cash, and you may not want to hear them because it's going to take you from not hiding behind a computer to do your marketing. But what we want when you're a marketing essentialist is to choose a strategy that is super simple and easy for you to implement with consistency from where you are right now. And that's really important because you may be trying to implement strategies that aren't right for you right now. One I can think of is when you're in the growth phase of business, you might trying to be selling without getting on the phone with people or without getting in front of people and talking to them. And that is just not going to be effective for you. You need to get out and meet people. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you don't know what strategies aren't right for you because you see what others are doing and think it's getting them clients. So you think maybe it's your path to getting clients. A great example of that, it would be like for me specifically, and I don't know if I speak for many of us, but I probably speak for quite a few of us, like the reels where you're clipping back and forth and you play a couple of characters in the reel. Like if somebody told me if I looked at somebody and I was like, oh, they must be getting tons of clients for that, and I thought I needed to implement that strategy, it would be like next July before I actually got that done, right? Like the first one, right? Because I just don't have the skill set. I have to go research how do you do it and what are the apps and how do you film that clip and how do you make the backgrounds look the same no matter what, whatever. I would not be able to do it. No one's told you that the strategies you're trying are beyond your skill set, right? Like, so that would be beyond my skill set. They're saying, oh, film a reel in 3 easy steps. Well, not for somebody like me, where I've got to set up now a tripod and change outfits and whatever. No one's told you that the resources it will require to get the strategies done might be beyond what you currently have. And I think about it a lot, like it's almost like staging a vacant house, right? Like people look at it and they go, oh my God, that's beautiful. And then they call you and ask you if you can stage their listing tomorrow because they have no idea what it took. They're looking at the tip of the iceberg. They have no idea what happened under the water of the iceberg of getting that house staged and all the work that it took and the hours and the time and the figuring out which pillow combination you're going to use this time to make it seem fresh and new or whatever, right? Like packing, pulling, all the logistics. Very much like that. So, and to be honest, there's like a ton of noise out there about how to grow, how to do staging, how to market your business, how to grow followers. We don't need followers. We need clients, right? How to use automation to grow your email list. We don't need automations to grow your email list. We need real life in-person contacts to grow your email list. That you should have a newsletter. You don't need a newsletter. You need to be in touch with people on a regular basis, but it doesn't need to be fancy and refined. In fact, I will tell you, the ones that come out that are the most produced, to me, first of all, they don't come out frequently enough because it takes so much time to produce them if I'm on the receiving end of them. And I know that likely they haven't really put together that content with me in mind. It's like generic content that they're pulling from the internet. Like when I heard my one realtor who I know personally, and he's telling me what are his favorite front door paint colors. I got a kick out of that. And I called him. I was like, Frank, do you really care about the front door color of a house? And are these truly your favorite? He's like, no, but that's what they put together for me. Right. So anyway, so there's a lot of noise out there, but honestly, at the end of the day, you have to remember really one thing is that clients don't care about any of that. They don't even care, honestly, if your website is a marketing machine. Your website, and a lot of you put that on your survey. I want to put your mind at ease that that's a super advanced selling skill. And your website really is an extension of your business card. It's where people can go to just say, oh, okay, here are the services they offer. The work they do looks nice, and might entice them to take the next step with you after they've already probably met you. Most people aren't going to be cold calling you based off of your website alone for a long time. And there's an exception to every rule. So if you are getting business that way, that is phenomenal. Reach out to me, tell me how you're doing it, and I will go look at your website and like love it and digest it. But again, clients don't care about any of that. All they care about is, can you help me? Literally, can you help me? And what we really want to do is make it easy for you to bridge the gap between the people that need you and getting them on your calendar. If they need your help, can you help me? We want you to bridge the gap between showing them that yes, you can, and you are the person they need to schedule with. We need to bridge the gap between getting noticed, getting known, and getting new clients. Period. So if you do nothing else, when you sit down to think about your marketing, I want you to think about that. Can you help me is the only question you need to answer for people who have never worked with you before. So what are the 4 simple steps to being an essentialist? So basically, I'm going to outline them and then I'm going to dive into each one of them. First of all, you need to meet people and establish connections, whether that's in person or online. Step 2 is telling them who you are and what you do. Step 3 is staying in touch in person and online. Step 4 is making clear offers about how they can take the next step with you. Okay, so let's dive into each of those. So the first one, meeting people and establish connections on or offline. The most important thing you can do, in particular early in your business, but also when you're in the accelerate phase of your business, if you're starting a new business line, is we want to tap into the people you know to grow your sphere of influence. The way that you do that is growing your referral partners, and you start with your warm network, the people that already know, like, and trust you. So if you are fresh to the business and you are looking to spread the word about what you do, you're going to start with the people you know, your friends, your family, letting them know what you're doing, how you can help people, and what you can do. That's the first way that I got any of my first clients. And when you're starting a new business line, it's the same thing. You want to make sure that your sphere knows, because here's the deal. When people are looking for any service, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, a landscaper, a window washer, a stager, they will actually start with asking the people they know, like, and trust first if they know of anybody, right? Think about that. How many times have you said to your friends, sent a text to your friends and been like, hey, I'm looking for, like I did this, I'm looking for a new doctor. Who do you guys go to for this? And why do you like them? And I got 3 recommendations right away. And then I could vet them from there. I did not have to go do any research on my own. I already trusted these people and trusted that they had kind of a similar set of expectations and standards that I had for the practice they'd go to, right? Same thing with that. Like, think about the Facebook groups where people are like, I'm looking for a landscaper. And 1,000 people are like, oh my God, this person's amazing. They're so great to work with. Beautiful work, always on time, whatever it is. People start with their own network. So we want you to make sure that you are establishing connections with people and letting them know about what you do. And the best way to do this, I love this philosophy. BNI's philosophy is givers gain. So when you're out meeting people, especially when you're out networking, you're out presenting, because in the beginning, you will have to do that a lot. And even when you are starting a new business line or new service, you'll have to start back to this, is probably going back to some networking or to your network. And you want people to be interested in you. So you actually want to be interested in them. Does that make sense? If you want people to be interested in you, you need to be interested in them. There we go. Got it. This is really important. I actually had not shared this information with our students, and I felt so bad. I had a student who was networking in a networking group for about a year and had not gotten any referrals. And I just asked her the question. I said, so have you ever asked any of those business owners how you could refer them business? And she hadn't. So right here, take this down as a note. when you're out networking and meeting people, or you're at a party and you are talking to people, this is a great question to ask if they're a fellow business owner. So ask them about their business, who they serve, how they do it, and what's the best way to refer them business. Do I tell people to text you, call you? Are you looking for people who are fill in the blank, right? Are you looking for people who are downsizing? Are they elderly? Are they people like literally they've got filthy windows, and I just tell them, oh my gosh, I know the best window cleaner. Like what's the best referral for you? Right. So it's so funny because my husband used to say when we go to a party in particular, I'm an introvert. He would say, gosh, you talk so much when we're at these parties. And I'm like, actually, if you watch, I'm just asking them questions about them and they're talking to me. And when they talk to me, then I get more information about them, which helps me ask more questions about them. And somebody coined it intentional curiosity. And you definitely want this in when you're out networking or you're doing a presentation in an office. Be intentionally curious about the audience before you even start talking about yourself. Ask them what are the biggest issues they face when they are getting ready to get a house, ready to be listed on the MLS. What are some of the things they struggle with? Have they ever had a situation where the client had really bad wallpaper or really bad paint and they didn't know how to handle it? Like, just, you can ask a series of questions that invoke, show people you're curious about their business. So that's how you really establish connection with people. The next thing is telling them who you are and what you do, right? Because once you have been interested in them, the likelihood is they will now become interested in you. So you can tell them what you do. You're a real estate staging business owner, and then they're going to start asking you questions about that. And it's fantastic because you get to hear what people think it is that you do. Their misunderstandings about the process, or they'll even say like, oh my gosh, I often wondered if I ever went to sell my house, if I would have to do X, Y, Z. What do you think? You can be volunteering your value at that point. So those are the first two steps. Establishing connections. And you, like I said, you can do that online as well. You can do that in Facebook groups where people, if you're looking to work with investors, you can jump into investor groups and establish connections by answering questions there. It's super easy to do that. So you can do that online as well. You can do that through, if you're using Instagram as a platform, it's a great way to share with your network what you are doing and how people can refer business to you, right? Like, again, you can use online and in-person strategies, but in person for our local zip code based businesses, that zip and click strategy, we really are going to be starting mostly in person. All right. Step 3, staying in touch, in person, online. And you're going to be doing this by volunteering your value. You're going to be providing valuable information, sharing information that, valuable information that you've heard from others, addressing potential objections and updates on how you're helping people. This is really where your email list comes into play. I teach using something free to give away to people in your in-person networking that then get somebody on your email list, and then you can stay in touch with them, providing valuable information. Like this podcast, this is an advanced skill, but this podcast is a version of that. Me getting to stay in touch with you on a weekly basis through a digital platform so that you are hearing from me every single week, so that I am not, you're not getting ghosted. Like, so when I show up and I talk about helping you grow your staging business 5 months from now, you won't be like, who's Lori? Who's the staging business school? Who's staging SIPs? You will know because I'm showing up here every single week. And again, this is an advanced skill set. You don't need to do this. You can literally be in someone's inbox each week with a small tidbit of information. It can be about your process. 5 words I would never use with your real estate clients. And that's a great subject line for an email. People will be curious. What are the 5 words you would never use with my clients, right? Like, just something like that. You can share, if you've posted something on Instagram, you can share that in an email. Wanted to share with you the, I don't know, the way we just helped someone sell their house for $35,000 over listing. That's an email that can be sent to people. We want to be staying in touch on the regular. And your email list truly is a beautiful place to do that, because that's your people. And the way I teach it is to take your zip code based strategies and then bring them online to your email list where you can stay in touch. That is it in an essence. And all of that is inside of the Staging Business School. And then you want to make clear offers about how to take the next step with you. How do they book with you? What's your process? Do they email you? Do they call you? Do they text you? Do they DM you? What is that? You get to decide. Make it one simple thing, right? So if you're over on Instagram, likely it will be, you'll probably want to have them DM you there or something like that, right? Going to link in bio, not as much, but have them DM you so you can start the conversation. And maybe it's that you get their email address there and you can then schedule a quick get acquainted call so that they can ask their questions about how your service works and how you can help them, right? So what does that look like for you? So before you go out and start being a marketing essentialist, I want you to have what I call the sales triad in place. I want you to have deep belief in yourself, deep belief in your services and the results that they can get, right? And you've got some great beliefs you can borrow if you're not sure that you can even produce results. There's a lot of great results out there at this point. You're so lucky that in this day and age, there's tons of statistics about how staging helps. But I will give you a few from my business right now that you can believe in, that you help people move faster and for more money who are needing to transfer for a job, selling because they need to move into assisted living. You can create results for families who have to sell their parents' home after their parents have both passed away. You can create results for people who are having to sell after the death of a partner or a spouse. You can help get results for people who are divorcing. You can help get results quickly for people who have teenagers and little kids and want to make it as easy as possible to not have to keep their house show ready for too long. You can help people who need to upsize because they're growing out of their house. You can help people who need to sell for the most money without having to do too many updates because their house is super outdated at this point. You can help realtors grow their list of super happy clients. These are all things that our team has helped. And we have so many more, but these are just some off the top of my head that you can believe in results for right now. And you have to believe that people want the results you offer and they are willing to pay for it right now. There are people out there wanting to know if you can help. You need to believe that you are the person to help and that they are willing to pay you to do it. Now, all the strategies you can use are very varied and it's going to be unique to each person. So as I read off this list of strategies, once you've got that sales triad of belief in place, I want you to think, what are the things that you could easily do, that you could easily turn up the volume on right now and focus? I want you to focus on one person. If you could help one person today, what would be the small fraction of action you do each week, each day? Would it be a networking group that you go to regularly? Would it be scheduling coffee chats? Would it be scheduling presentations in offices? Would it be events in your social life? Would it be staying in touch with emails and or social media where your clients are hanging out? What is the simplest thing for you to connect with people, whether that's an in-person or online strategy? Let them know what you do, how you do it, and how they can get in touch with you to make that happen. Where are you going to do that? What is your smallest fraction of action? These are the skills and strategies we work on inside of the Staging Business School. So if you're a growth business owner, you're under 50K in revenue, and you're in the process of growing your business, you want to get on the wait list for growth for when we open the doors to that. And if you are an Accelerate business owner and you need a capacity and a schedule match, Accelerate is open enrollment. Come join us. Start working on these strategies, because what happens when you start working on these strategies is your brain starts to revolt and it will hold you small, keep you confused, keep you not knowing what to do. And that's where our internal, like we have an internal live coaching call twice a month, which now is the basis for our library of live calls, almost like a private podcast, essentially inside of the Staging Business School, inside of the Accelerate program. So again, I want you to focus on all this, the essentials, to get your fastest path to cash. Okay, everybody, that is your sip for the week. I hope you have a wicked good week, and I hope I don't need to re-record this. All right, bye for now.